Hi, superstars. It is time for science. We are on the module weather. We are going to watch a video of a storm. All right, that was lightning happening during a storm. Lightning happens very quickly. So, when does lightning happen? It happens during a thunderstorm. Now, what weather often happens when lightning is happening? It's usually windy and it's raining. How do you know if a thunderstorm might happen? You can watch, read, or listen to a forecast. A meteorologist tells us what the weather will be like, and that is called a forecast. Open up your Be a Scientist notebook to page 59 and make sure you put your name and the date at the top of the paper. All right, this right here is called a thermometer. A thermometer is a tool and it helps us describe the weather. So now we're looking here at three friends and they're talking about the weather thermometer. They each have different ideas about what the thermometer measures. So we have our first friend here, Sonia, and she says a thermometer measures the rain. Okay, our next friend over here, she says a thermometer measures the temperature. And then we have our last friend right here, Wendy. And Wendy says the thermometer measures how strong the wind blows. Now I want you to pick which of these friends has the best idea about what a thermometer does. Circle the friend that you agree with. Okay, did you pick somebody you agreed with? All right, I am going to tell you who had the best idea. Ava, right here. She's standing right here. She says it measures the temperature. A thermometer is one of several weather instruments. There's a barometer, there's a rainfall gauge, there's a wind vane, and an anemometer. Weather instruments are used to measure different weather conditions. Now you can conduct an experiment at home. You have to ask your mom or dad to help you. So what you need is a canning jar. This right here is a canning jar. This is the canning jar. And then you need a lid for the jar. You're going to put very hot water, almost boiling. So that's why you need an adult to help you here. Almost boiling water, and you need ice. So you're going to have an adult, if you're going to do this experiment, fill the jar with about 2 inches of very hot water, and then you're going to place this lid upside down, and it has to cover the jar mouth completely. Then you're going to add ice inside the lid. Now the temperature difference between the ice and and the hot water is going to cause something called condensation. And you'll see these water droplets inside of the jar, and that's rain. Now, think about what's going on here. There's a temperature difference. You have cold and you have hot. And then it causes the water condensation, which are water droplets. So there's rain in the jar. We're going to watch a video about career kid Hugo. He wants to be a meteorologist when he grows up. A meteorologist studies weather and weather conditions. Let's watch.
Hi, my name's Hugo. Wow! Did you see and hear that? That scared me a little, but I love thunderstorms and I think it's about to rain. I used a lot of tools to observe and measure the weather, like a thermometer, a rain gauge, and this anemometer. Phew! Anemometer is a hard word to say. I used the anemometer to measure the speed of the wind. These tools help me identify patterns in the weather. These patterns help me predict what the weather will be like. Someday, when I become a meteorologist, that's a person who studies the weather, I'll use these tools and high-tech equipment to study the weather. The weather can change very quickly, and meteorologists help us know what the weather will be like. Looks like I was right. Here comes the rain.
All right. All right, so what tools does a meteorologist use? They use many different tools. There's tools like thermometer, there's a rain gauge, a wind vane. Now, why would a meteorologist need to be able to describe weather? Well, meteorologists have to know which types of weather are alike and which are different. They need words and tools to make comparisons. Let's look at page 60 in your Be a Scientist notebook. All right, let's read our essential question. How do we measure and describe weather? Well, we measure with different tools and we need different words in order to describe the weather. So let's circle the word that describes a thunderstorm. Which word describes a thunderstorm? Would it be sunny? Is it sunny during a thunderstorm? No, I don't think so. How about rainy? Is it rainy during a thunderstorm? Yes, it is. How about snowy? No, maybe during a snowstorm, but not a thunderstorm. How about dry? Would that describe a thunderstorm? No. So rainy is correct. During a thunderstorm, it's rainy. Now, how can we describe the inside of the jar? The jar that had the hot water inside and the ice on top. Remember what happened? Condensation on the inside. Those were little water droplets. How would you describe the inside of the jar? What words would you use? So we had words to describe a thunderstorm. What words can we use to describe the inside of that jar? Well, there's words such as rainy, which is right here, right? Was it dry inside of that jar? No, it was wet, right? So we can use wet as a describing word. It was steamy. That's another word. Just like in a shower, when you're taking a shower, it gets steamy from the hot water. And how about sweaty? It looked sweaty. That means it was just moist. All right, good job. Let's look at page 61 in your Be a Scientist notebooks. We are going to make a prediction. So you are going to predict what you think is the correct answer. Now it says, let me grab my pen here. It says, what will fill the rain gauge the most? Remember, we're talking about different tools and instruments that we use to measure weather. So they're asking, which will fill the rain gauge the most? So remember, looking for clues in the words is going to help you. So do you think rain is going to fill a rain gauge the most, or sunny weather? Which one do you think will fill the rain gauge the most? So circle the one you think is correct. All right, let's look at this simulation. This says a rain gauge is used to measure rainfall. Select a type of weather, and use the slider to set the duration. We are going to look at a rain gauge and see the rainfall it measures. So if we put rain and we select it down here, let's watch this rain gauge. So this right here is called a rain gauge right here. Okay, I'm going to select the different weather types. So I'll select the rain first right here. And then I'll select this rain, which is not as heavy. And then this third one is just a cloudy day. And the last one here is a sunny day. So we're going to watch what happens to this rain gauge. It measures different amounts of rain. So I want you to watch what happens as I select the different weather. Let's select the rain. So if I select the rain and I push play, it's raining, and look at the rain gauge. It's filling up with water. So it's measuring the rain. All right, now how about if we pick the not so rainy day? Okay, it's filling up with water. Is it filling up as fast as the heavy rain? No, it's not filling up as fast, but it is filling up with some water. It's light rain. Okay, and now how about the cloudy day? There's no rain, it's just cloudy. Let's see what happens. Is it collecting any water? No, there's no rain. So how is it going to collect water? It cannot measure the rain if there's no rain. Okay, and now a sunny day. What do you think is going to happen? Let's watch. Did it collect any rainfall? Nope, it's sunny, so there's no rain to collect, right? Okay, so we saw that on the heavy day of raining, it collected the most rainfall. Look how much rainfall it collected. Okay, and then we saw on the light rain, it also collected rainfall. Not as much as the heavy rain, but it still collected rainfall. So it measured how much it rained. And that's a tool that meteorologists use to measure the rain. Open up to page 62. Make sure your name and date is on the top of your paper. And we're going to circle the answer. It asks which filled the rain gauge the most. So you made a prediction on the other page. Was your prediction correct? Did you circle the rainfall or the sunshine? The rainfall, right? It filled the rain gauge the most. Number 2, what happened when it rained for more hours? Did the rain gauge fill up more or did it not fill up? It filled up, right? The more it rained, the more rainfall it collected. So there was a pattern. The more rain, the more the rain gauge filled up. Turn to page 63. Make sure your name and date is at the top. You're going to make another prediction. So you are going to think about the next 3 days. What do you think the weather will be? So here's day 1, day 2, and day 3. I want you to draw what you think the next 3 days' weather will be like. So draw in these boxes here each day for the next 3 days. Okay? You're going to draw in all of these boxes. I want to see what you think the weather is going to be like. Do you think it's going to be sunny? Do you think it's going to be rainy, snowy, or windy? Draw the weather for the next 3 days. Turn to page 64. Now what you're going to do is you are going to look at the weather for 3 days. You are going to record the weather for 3 days. So here's day 1. So on day 1, you're going to look outside and you are going to check each box that applies to the weather that you see. So let's say today you look outside and it's sunny. You're going to put a check here. If it was rainy, you'd check rain. If it was snowy, you'd check snow. And if it was windy, you would check windy. So on day 1, you were going to pick which one of these tells about the weather for that day. And then tomorrow, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to see which of these terms is going to describe the weather for that day. And also on day 3. And you're going to compare it with your prediction you made on page 63. All right, we are going to go over some vocabulary words. The first one is temperature. The first word is thermometer. Temperature is one of our vocabulary words, but this one is thermometer. And a thermometer is a tool that measures temperature. So here is a thermometer. Our next word is temperature. Temperature is how hot or cold something is. Temperature. So you use a thermometer to measure the temperature. All right, our next word is cool. Somewhat cold, not warm or hot. Cool. rainwater. Rain is water droplets that fall from clouds to earth. See the rain? Water droplets. Weather. What the sky and air are like each day is weather. The weather. Warm. Warm is somewhat hot. It's not cool or cold. Warm. Somewhat hot. Rainbow. Rainbow is an arc of colored light that appears in the sky. See how it's an arc? Clouds. Clouds are groups of water droplets in the sky. Clouds. Now turn to page 65 in your Be a Scientist notebook. We went over some vocabulary words. We went over all of these words: temperature, rain, rainbow, clouds, weather, thermometer, cool, and warm. So circle 2 of these words, and I want you to draw a picture of the words. So pick any of those words you like, 2 of them, and then draw a picture down here. Okay? All right, superstars, I can't wait to see your drawings. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.